What's up? It's Ivaldi Sako. Welcome to the show. Today we'll talk about whatever you saw in the title of this podcast, of course, and also about the mistake you might be making to solve your problems that keeps you stuck without solving them, how to analyze data about your business or your life in a useful way to keep actually growing, the lessons I learned from a real actual spy agent about human psychology because he's an actual expert at this, and how to use it in your business and your life. Why pleasure and distractions are not a waste of time and can even be extremely productive. Let me tell you that I did not believe this before this week. And they can even make you more productive than how much productive you are when you're not distracted and not having any pleasure. How to have the best possible week. Just an extremely productive, positive, and joyful, just awesome week. Because I just had this week. So I'm going to tell you about this, how I did that. There are specific things I'm going to tell you about. And maybe at the end, I'll tell you about an emotional, moment that I had with my family this week that might motivate you a little bit. And maybe some other interesting stuff, and about what I learned, what I thought about this week. Because if you're new here, my name is Ivaldi Sako. I'm just an entrepreneur trying to grow a great business, enjoying my life as much as possible, in the long term mostly, and trying to become a better human in general. I learned a lot during my week. I share my experiences here. I document the process every week to help you become truly free, successful, have a better life, get to the next level of success. If any of that interests you, I suggest you don't waste a split second and just click subscribe right now to not forget and miss the next episode. And we have a little agreement here. If you get some value out of this show, if you enjoyed it a little bit at least, if you got something out of it, you share it. That's the fee. It's not free. It's just like the fee. It's a little agreement between me and you. And you just share the show if you find it helpful. If you didn't, don't share it. Please don't share it. But if you did, share it. It will help a lot. Someone else discover the show. They will like you because you shared this with them, hopefully. And so yeah. With that being said, let's get into it. So this week, unusual one. And I'll tell you first about the mistake you might be making to solve your problems that keeps you stuck without solving them, and how to analyze data about your business or your life in a useful way to keep growing. So, the reason why I had the idea to talk about this, sorry guys, I'm going to drink a lot of water again during this podcast because it's freaking hot in my car. I don't know why I keep doing this in my car, just because I have a pretty beautiful view in front of me. Great land. Anyway, just a side note. Let me drink a little bit and then we'll start right away. So someone I know was telling me about a problem he has. And he was trying to solve a problem or figure out the real, actual, deep reason for the problem. And he could not figure this out. It's been a while since he's been stuck in this problem. And when I asked him questions, because we talk and I just like helping people, I just like immediately, I'm not the type of guy that is going to really listen and just be there for you necessarily, because I'm just going to try to solve the problem immediately. I want to fix the problem immediately. I'm not trying to listen too much. Maybe this is good. Sometimes maybe it's not good. And other times, this time I think it was pretty good. And he was having struggle to find the reason why he's having this problem. He did not understand the reason, deep cause of this problem. And the reason is not because he did not ask himself why, right? When you are trying to figure out the reason, true deep reason why you're having a problem, you ask yourself multiple times the question, why? Okay, I can't figure out how to make more sales. Okay, why? And you ask yourself, okay, why is this? You ask yourself multiple times the question why on the answers that you find, right? And once you get to answer twice the same answer, then you know it's the real cause, the real deep root cause of the problem. This is the issue, the real one. And if you eliminate this one, all the other problems will, hopefully solve themselves out. And he could not find it. And the reason is that he was not really paying attention to this one thing that he was doing wrong. And this one thing, you might be doing it as well. I know sometimes I do too. And this thing is, well, I was asking him question, right? And asking him, okay, why are you saying this? He was answering me like, well, I feel like I'm having this kind of issue, right? I feel like I'm having that. I know all about this stuff. I'm not worried about that. I feel like I'm pretty good with this. And this is how he was answering me, right? All my questions, he was answering me always with qualitative data. They were adjectives. They were feelings. And this stuff doesn't get you anywhere. This stuff is subjective. This stuff is not anchored in reality. It's not measurable. And because it's not measurable, it's difficult to improve it. You know, the saying, what gets measured gets improved, right? Well, if you're always analyzing data, whether it's in your business or your personal life, that is qualitative, you can't really, I hope you don't hear the little kids playing side of my car right now. You can't, with qualitative data, you can't measure it. If you got, instead, what I asked him, I told him, like, you got no numbers to show me. You had nothing for me to work with. All what you're saying is just like feelings. All what you're saying is just qualitative data. It's just adjectives. Where are your numbers, right? You need quantitative data to make good decisions, to solve your problem, to figure out, okay, where is actually the problem? To get you unstuck from this situation, you need numbers, you need data. How do you get data? He did not have any data. That's why he was not making any progress. And I told him, well, it's just as simple as you learned in high school. At least here, we learned it in high school. It's maybe in middle school, maybe, I don't know. It's this scientific method. First, okay, you figure out, okay, this is my problem. Okay, I can't make more sales. Why? And you try to find answers to this question. Not like pretty precise things, precise situations. Okay, I'm not getting enough calls, right? I'm not doing enough outreach. I'm not putting out enough content. Whatever it is, right? In your life, it could be, any kind of other stuff, right? You're not doing something that could get you some result. Or maybe you're doing something wrong and you should do it in a better way. To have data, what you need is to set first a hypothesis. This is a scientific method. You set a hypothesis. Okay, I'm going to do this and it should give me that result. I'm going to take that action and it's going to make me get this result. That's my hypothesis. We'll see if it's right or wrong, but I think this is what's going to happen. You set the hypothesis, you take action on the hypothesis, right? You take the action that you set. Okay, if I do more sales calls, I should have more sales, right? You set the hypothesis and you test it. You do more sales calls and more is not really good. You should test a more precise thing, right? If I do 100 cold calls, I'll get 5% more sales. Let's say. You set the hypothesis, you test it, and you see the feedback. Okay, the feedback is, I did get a lot more sales. Well, maybe it's because of this, right? Then you improve it again. I got a lot of more sales again. Now the hypothesis is confirmed. That was the reason. If it's not confirmed, you have tested this hypothesis, it's wrong. On to the next one. You test the next hypothesis. And of course, in the hypothesis, you try to make your best guess. And this way, you get quantitative data. And sometimes you already have quantitative data, but you're just not using it. Have your numbers right. Try to analyze your life. What I do is that I have a file, a real big Excel file about everything that I do every day. Every day, at the end of the day, I just complete it. Did I sleep? What time did I sleep, right? What time did I wake up? How many times I was working on the computer? A lot of stuff on my Excel file, and I have data. And so with this data, I can make good decisions with quantitative data, not qualitative data, not my subjective. Now, of course, this has a place and a role, but oftentimes you can't make good decisions because it's just like what you feel. And sometimes when you ask, for example, if you have a team, you'll ask them, okay, why aren't you doing more sales? Well, I don't know. I've tried everything. That's okay. Well, there's not really any data, first of all, but you could say, I don't know, the market is not going well right now, right? People say those kind of general stuff. It's the end of the month, right? No, come on, just get data. And when you get quantitative data, then you can make better informed decisions. And so I told him that, and I think it hit. When I told him, I was like, well, do you not see that you're just talking about your feelings? You're not talking logic right now. You're just talking about the things that you're just in your head, thinking. Okay, I think that. I think this. This is good. This is bad. No. What are the numbers to back that up? That's what's important. I've struggled to do that as well. Sometimes I'm caught up in qualitative data, but it's not the right way to make good decisions and improve your situations. Then, this week I also learned lessons from a spy agent. Let me drink a little bit of water. It's really hot. You guys don't understand right now. I'm just dying of hotness. And this spy agent was telling us about 4 development stages. And since you are a kid up until you're a grown up, you have 4 development stages, and those affect how you live and how people live. And therefore, if you know about those, you can have better relationships with people. And everything in business is relationships. By the way, the quantitative data and qualitative data, thing that I learned was I thought about this thanks to Your Next 5 Moves, the book Your Next 5 Moves from Patrick Bet-David, which I just finished today. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. It was really good. It's pretty strategic and also pretty motivated me a little bit. Because it took me a lot of time to go through it. I stopped and then I continued it anyway. Let's get back to the 4 stages of humans' development. So it was saying, the spy was saying that there was, and everything he was saying was what he learns from his agency, his spy agency, right? One of the big ones, I think. From 0 to 7, actually I have not wrote them down, but I think this is what I remember from that. From 0 to 7, you're you take everything in. You're a sponge. Everything that's around you take everything like it's truth. From 7 to 13, you start developing an opinion and you start thinking some things, but you're still like a sponge. So you take everything that we tell you as truth. Then from 13 to 25, then you start, getting pushing back on some people's opinions. After that, you take much less things as facts from what's coming to you. So it's you're much less influenceable after 25. It's only after 25. He was saying that we're pretty much adolescents up until 25. and then only we become actual real adults. And so you can, because of those 4 stages of development, you have 4 kind of personalities. You have the 0 to 7 years old Ivaldi, that's my name, right? The 0 from the 7 years old Ivaldi, the 13-year-old, and the 25-year-old. Then, for me, then the 40-year-old, right? And all those, you always are living through one of these personalities. And so sometimes when you act like you were acting, it's kind of like traumas. You had some traumas from 0 to 7. Sometimes when you react in a certain situation, you have this personality that comes back. So maybe at one point you felt needy from 0 to 7 years old toward your mother, and because you wanted validation in some way. At one point, maybe in business or you're going in your professional life, you find yourself in a situation when you are trying to please everybody because you feel like, okay, they have something that you want, and so you're going to do everything in your power to get it. And so knowing about those things help you out. For example, if you have a partner with you, if you have a wife, a spouse, a husband, wife, you can, okay, if each of you know those types of personalities, you can call them out, and then you can get out of them. If you are like if you call them out, if you realize, the idea is brought to awareness that you are behaving in this 7-year-old you, well, then you can get out of it. You can snap out of it and be the person that you want to become, right? Be the person that you are right now, for example, at 30 years old, right? And so it's really useful to know, okay, what kind of personality I had during those years. What was the major personality? Maybe there was a problem. Maybe I was trying to fix something. I felt some kind of trauma, psychological, emotional trauma at this point. Okay, catch it. This is why it's really important to do introspections. If you do like deep introspections, which, by the way, in the book of Patrick B. David, there is the personal identity audit, which is great to know yourself better. Also, journaling and meditation is just like pretty like good tools to get to know yourself better and to know how you behave, how you think, to just catch yourself when you behave in your 7-year-old you, which doesn't serve you when you're 30-year-old, right? And so he was telling us about this. I was like, I'm really thirsty, guys. Sorry. I think it's going to be a pretty short one today. I'm really like burning. He was also telling us about the 4 temperaments that you need in your team. And whether it's maybe in basketball, I think he was saying like even in sports, in business, it's very important to have those 4 types of individuals in your team, in your side. Whether it's maybe not even in your team, but like in your surroundings. 4, lion, cheetah, bear, and fox. Those 4, you need to have them. Now, what does that mean? The lion, it was saying, it was the organized person. The person that's planning a lot, right? The fox, I'm not sure about the fox, I think it was the technical one. The one that is like maybe doing codes in your business and, all technology things related. I think it was that. The cheetah is action taker, massive action, just like go, 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 right? And the bear is the one that brings everything together with like relationships, right? He's good with the relationships, he's good with empathy, talking to people, everything like this. When you have those 4, lion, organized, cheetah, action, fox, technical, technology, and bear, relationships, you have a great team. And you need to look for those people. And maybe sometimes people have a little bit of both, right? I don't think one is like completely one. Sometimes you have a little bit like 3, but like you are like a major one. You are a major bear, but you also have some cheetah. You also have some lion inside of you, right? And when you have those in a complete way, when you have people that are okay majoring in lion, cheetah, bear, fox, you have a great team that is capable of just being independent and making way more progress towards your goals in your business and having a better life, I think you see that in movies as well. There's always like this like nerd, right? The guy that is like all in, the woman that is just taking care of the group, and what is on that? Organized, like the planner, the one that's just like strategizing and everything, right? I think you kind of get this. So yeah, that was very useful for me. Also, he was telling us about this. People, because like when you're a spy, you're trying to get into people's private lives, right? And he was telling us that people have 3 different selves. The public self, your personal brand, what you want people to see about you, its status, it's everything like this. Your private life, your private self, right? The one that your family sees, your spouse sees, your husband sees. The one that is like more reserved, maybe like you're becoming more of your true self, right? You have a less of a barrier. And then there's the private self, the secret self, I think. Not the private self. No, the private self is the second one. Public, private, and the secret self. And the secret self is the one that only you know. Nobody knows him or her but you. It's the secret that you have. It's the way that you behave when you're totally, fully alone. It's the way you think in your head. It's the way that maybe sometimes you find, you have some kind of bad thoughts. It's your like sometimes your instinctive thoughts, your animal nature, and your deepest secrets. And he was saying that the goal of the spy is to get to the secret life. If he gets access to the secret life, he gets access to everything. All the secrets, all the information that he needs, because spies are just there to seek out important information, critical information, to make decisions or to just be in a certain advantage in a negotiation or in wars and countries, politically, all things of this nature, right? And so they make like big research into the person, into his development stages, to know and understand him better. And then they try to script out a conversation that will make it as likely as possible that they get to this secret self. And once they get there, they get everything. Because the person is like, okay, he knows already about this big secret. I can tell him everything. And now the spy has to do is just ask questions normally. Well, I know about this. Why don't you tell me about that, right? And he tells him. And this is how it works. And you can use that to build maybe deeper relationships with people, being able to motivate them more. In Patrick Bet-David's book, he was saying that to know what are people driven by, the deep motivations. Sometimes people are motivated by their personal lifestyle, right? Sometimes by advancement, by making progress. Sometimes by madness, competition. This is what he calls madness, competition, destroying an enemy, something like this. Guys, the video just stopped because my phone overheated. I'm so sorry. I had a lot of great content. I was performing and I don't know how hot it was here because my phone just overheated and it stopped recording. I didn't know it. And yeah, sorry. If you like this show, if you want content that you got, please share the show. Maybe I'll talk about what I didn't talk here in the next show. And so yeah, subscribe, share the show if you liked it. Hopefully you did. I'm so sorry. I just don't have the time to record it back. See you in another show. Bye.